Hello and welcome to the UPSC Quick Revision series. Today, we will discuss one of the most important constitutional bodies in Indian polity, the Election Commission of India, that is ECI. It is a permanent and independent body that is responsible for conducting free and fair elections in India. In fact, the success of our democracy largely depends on the functioning of this institution. So, our agenda for today is as follows. We will look at its constitutional provisions, composition, independence, powers and functions, and finally, the challenges and reforms associated with it. The Election Commission derives its powers directly from the Constitution. According to Article 324, the power of superintendence, direction, and control of elections to the Parliament, state legislatures, and the offices of the President and Vice President is vested in the ECI. Now, regarding its composition, it consists of a Chief Election Commissioner, that is CEC, and other election commissioners, that is ECs, whose numbers are determined by the President. Currently, it is a multi-member body with one CEC and two ECs. They are all appointed by the President of India and hold office for a term of 6 years or up to the age of 65, whichever is earlier. To ensure free and impartial elections, the independence of the Commission is paramount. The Constitution provides several safeguards to ensure its independence. Among these, the most important is the security of the tenure. The Chief Election Commissioner can only be removed from office through the same process and on the same grounds as a Supreme Court judge, which is a process similar to the impeachment by Parliament. This is a very strong safeguard. Moreover, their service conditions cannot be varied to their disadvantage after their appointment. As for the other election commissioners, they can only be removed on the recommendation of the CEC. The functions of the Election Commission are extensive. Firstly, its administrative functions include delimiting constituencies, preparing and periodically revising electoral rolls, and recognizing political parties and allotting them election symbols. In addition, it also appoints officers to conduct elections. Furthermore, it plays an advisory role. For instance, it advises the President on matters relating to the disqualification of members of Parliament and Governor on the disqualification of members of the state legislature. Apart from this, the Commission also has certain quasi-judicial powers. It can act as a court for settling disputes related to the recognition of political parties and the allotment of the election symbols. Other important functions include enforcing the Model Code of Conduct to ensure a level playing field for all parties during elections. It also sets and monitors the limit on campaign expenditure by candidates. Moreover, if rigging or booth capturing occurs, it has the power to cancel the polls in that area. Despite all these powers, the Election Commission faces several challenges. The growing use of money and muscle power in elections is a major problem. Similarly, the reliability of electronic voting machines, that is EVMs, has also been questioned from time to time. To address these issues, several reforms have been suggested, providing equal constitutional protection for the removal of all election commissioners, making the appointment process more transparent, and giving the Commission the power to deregister political parties. Finally, let's test your understanding with some practice questions. I hope this discussion has helped you understand the structure, powers, and challenges of the Election Commission of India. If you have any doubts or want us to cover another topic next, drop your suggestions in the comments. Until then, keep following the Vision IAS Quick Revision series.